You're watching Better Business Bureau's Business at its Best, brought to you by Ataraxis. You've got employees, we've got solutions. Human resources, insurance, benefits, and payroll. Our business is your business. BBB's Business at its Best.
Hang up, delete, shred, and repeat. I'm Dale Dixon from Better Business Bureau, serving the Snake River region. Welcome to Business at its Best. We're devoting this half hour to securing your identity. You know, plenty of thieves are waiting for just a little opportunity to take over your name. The idea? Simply take away their chance. On today's show, we start with your computer. Thieves know a computer can be a treasure trove of personal information. They can get to it through the internet or in person. We show you the importance of protecting your computer and wiping it clean before getting rid of it. Then think about all of the paperwork in your home and business. Statements to junk mail. An identity thief can go to work with even minimal information. We'll share the documents you need to shred, and then we pull it all together, shredding computer and cell phone security free for you with Secure Your ID Day. It's coming up Saturday, October 20th in Nampa and Idaho Falls. And we're going to have more on that coming up in the show. Business at its best is possible because of our media partners. We're on great stations, including KTVB, Idaho's very own 24/7 in southern and western Idaho, and eastern Idaho's local News 8's Now channel. And we start today's show with a look at a program that is helping the homeless in Idaho. Greg Morris is the executive director of Catch Inc. Greg, thanks so much for being with us today.
It's my pleasure.
Before we dive into this idea of protecting one's identity in the home buying process, tell us about Catch Inc. and what you do.
Sure. Yeah, Catch Inc. is a 501c3 nonprofit organization dedicated to rehousing and serving homeless families with children. And currently we have two programs in the Treasure Valley. Catch of Ada County and Catch of Canyon County, and we are looking at expanding into Twin Falls in 2013.
And then Eastern Idaho as well, coming down the road.
Absolutely. Over the next few years, we're in partnership with the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, which hopes to help us expand throughout the state.
And the population that you serve specifically, what are some of those areas where you see that somebody's preying on them, as far as whether it be identity theft or just trying to get at what little money there is?
Yeah, all the families that Catch Inc. serves are coming straight out of homeless shelters, and we work exclusively with families with young children. And this is a vulnerable population, and one of the things that we do, in addition to helping them get back on their feet financially by paying their rent, we also provide intensive case management, which, as it turns out, ends up being pretty important. There's several areas where families are vulnerable. First of all, predatory lending. It's a big deal.
And you still see it despite what's happened over the last couple of years with added regulation and everything else.
Absolutely, absolutely. Payday loans, title loans. Our folks sometimes still feel the need to make things happen for themselves and end up making a poor choice on a loan, a short-term loan that they may sign off on that's at 900% interest. So we try to help them avoid those pitfalls and really counsel them and give them steps that where they can avoid making those choices. A lot through education. There's a significant education process through this. Absolutely, absolutely. And another somewhat aggressive loan is for-profit colleges. Many of our folks will come to us. We're in the middle of a case management plan. They're getting a job. And then all of a sudden they show up and we're going to college. You know, we feel like it's time to go to school. And while we encourage our folks to get more education, a lot of times these colleges are really trying to get folks without any advising or counseling or finding out if it's really a good fit for them to sign a loan, a school loan, that it's going to end up not being a good situation for them. So the importance of education through this process and knowing how to handle those situations. Catch Inc. is the program. Is there a website folks can find you at? Absolutely, catchprogram.org. All right, thank you so much for what you're doing throughout Idaho. Yeah. Well, coming up later on Business at its Best, Better Business Bureau offers free document shredding, cell phone and computer disposal in western and eastern Idaho. Details for you coming up. First, do you have an old computer sitting in the closet or garage? We answer the question, what do you do with it? You are watching Business at its Best, presented by Ataraxis.
Welcome back to Business at its Best. Ataraxis makes this program possible each week. The company takes care of the day-to-day work of HR, benefits, and payroll so a business owner can focus on growing business. We're spending this 30 minutes on protecting you from identity thieves. We wouldn't be doing our job if we didn't show you what BBB is all about, helping people buy wisely and companies sell ethically. When you see BBB accredited business, you know a company has promised to uphold Better Business Bureau's standards for trust. Advertise honestly, tell the truth, be transparent, be responsive, safeguard privacy, honor promises. And those are the important things that you need to be watching for from every company with whom you do business. Well, when I say sanitize, you might think of disinfecting. But if I told you the inside of your computer needs to be sanitized before it leaves your home or business, that's a different image. Part of securing your identity is a good computer wipe down. Tammy Gardner with Secure Data Sanitization joins us. Tammy, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Let's talk about what you do as a company and the connection you have to Computers for Kids.
Well, SDS wipes all the hard drives for Computers for Kids. So anyone that donates to Computers for Kids, they can get their hard drive wiped properly and securely.
And just in case folks have not heard yet of Computers for Kids, it's a program for kids to get computers.
It's a nonprofit organization that we've handed out over 26,000 computers to kids throughout the state of Idaho. Every child qualifies. Doesn't matter if they are on the free or reduced lunch program or, middle class. They can all receive computers from us.
Great, and those are all donated. You go through them and clean them up. Let's make a business case then for wiping a computer. Some people I'll just throw it out, give it away to somebody.
Well, the one thing, you do need to be careful. When you pass it down, that's great that you are reusing these computers, but there's your information on it. And when you're handing it down to someone else, they're not too concerned about your information. There's many times we say, oh, it was so-and-so's, and there's no big deal on it. But there could be your Social Security number, there could be your credit cards. I mean, it's great for identity theft to take care of that.
So if I'm I'm not computer literate very well, I use it all the time but don't know how it works, but if I just go in and delete all the files off the computer before I give it away?
No, that will not work. We hear it all the time. Oh, I deleted everything. Well, deleting does not do it. You do need to, we suggest that you do secure erase, and that's what SDS does. That is called purging. So we are erasing the information off of the hard drive. Now, a lot of people do Newton boot, D-ban to erase that, and sometimes that works. 1 out of 4 of those fail. So I would suggest
25% failure rate.
Oh yes,
for
and
basically a do-it-yourself kind of system.
And a lot of the companies, they're doing that, and they think that that is good enough. It is not. When you are a business, for the average individual, okay, that's probably all right, but bring it to Computers for Kids, we'll wipe it and get it taken care of.
So really you're doing what's required. Take us through those steps that you're doing to be sure that it's done right.
Well, we do use secure erase. So that will erase that information, and then once it goes through that, sometimes not all hard drives will support secure erase. So then it has to go to the German wipe, and that is where we layer 1s and 0s about 7 times on that computer. Wow. And
technical, but it's getting the job done.
It is getting the job done. And then we have a security pass to make sure that all the information is off. If for some reason it doesn't, it goes into our shredder, and we shred that.
All right, lots of confidence in that kind of a system. And we, in fact, have an opportunity for you to donate your computer. It's coming up. SDS will be on site in Western Idaho collecting computers Saturday, October 20th, 10 o'clock to noon at the Micron Center for Professional Technical Education, otherwise known as the old Sam's Club in Nampa. We're looking forward to that. Thank you so much for being a partner in this endeavor with us. And coming up next, we go from computers to good old-fashioned paper. What should you be shredding to protect your identity? The answer when we return. You are watching Business at its Best, presented at Ataraxis. Welcome back to Business at its Best. This is a half-hour TV show airing across Idaho that shows how companies all along the Snake River Plain, from Jackson Hole, Wyoming to Ontario, Oregon, drive the economy by providing top-quality goods and services, and they provide jobs. Today, our focus is on securing your identity, stopping an ID thief. Better Business Bureau teams up with CIntas 1 week from today for Secure Your ID Day, offering free shredding. Alison Gregory joins us with CIntas to talk more about this. Alison, thanks so much for being with us. Thanks again for being a partner with us in this.
Of course.
So often people tell us, you know what, it'll never happen to me. I don't need to shred my documents. Why should they think twice about that?
You know, a lot of people do say that, you know, if it doesn't have their bank statement, their social security number on it, I'll just throw it out. When in fact, just your name and address alone will allow those types of thieves, that's their first step they take to gain your identity. They'll take those, they can take loans out, credit cards out in your name, and change your addresses, you know, so then the statements go elsewhere. So in fact, we have a shred all policy at CIntas. You know, all those types of documents, anything that has your name on it, address on it, social security number, bank statement, we advise you to shred all so you can eliminate yourself from any type of identity theft that might happen. Dumpster
diving is a real issue.
Yes, it is.
Even in Idaho, whether you live in Ammon or whether you live in Nampa, Idaho, it is.
It's amazing. We hear stories all the time, you know, oh, I'm just going to put it in a plastic bag and throw it in the garbage and then it'll get, you know, taken away. They go in and they will go and grab receipts, put receipts back together, and eventually take your identity. It's a big issue, and we need to make sure that we're securing those documents properly and destroying them properly at all times.
So I'm sure our viewers have seen the big CIntas trucks rolling around. You do a lot of different things in the company, but the shredding is one, and we're going to pull those CIntas shred trucks up in Idaho Falls and in Nampa and run through as many cars as possible. Tell us about that truck and what it's doing.
Okay, that truck, it's going to be completely on site. We're going to have our trained service licensed professionals there. You can come, bring all your documents. We're going to be there from 10 to noon, and we will shred all your confidential documents for free to help protect those within the community in all of Idaho from those types of thieves out there.
Now, oftentimes folks will drive up. We've had people drive up actually with a pickup bed full of paper, and we ask folks to limit it to 3 boxes so that we have to run a lot of people through there in that short period. But they will often ask, okay, well, I've got a lot more back at home. What should I do with it? Because I don't want to sit there and just run it through sheet by sheet through the sheet feeder on my personal shredder. So what is the answer for folks? What can they do?
We at CIntas Document Management offer a lot of different options. If by fact you only can bring 3 boxes there, the rest of them we have an on-site location. You can come and drop off those types of documents. We'll shred them all on site, provide you with the certificate of destruction. And if by fact you're a business and you have multiple pallets full of documents, we will go to your location, shred all of those documents on site. You can watch it done, provide you with a document of destruction, and it's all destroyed, NAID certified for your security needs.
I'm glad you brought up the business aspect, because we have the shred box sitting in our office. CIntas comes and picks it up every couple of weeks. So important for a business, though.
It's extremely important. You know, the types of stuff, accounting, human resources, all that type of information needs to be shred to ensure that their clients, the consumers, are all protected at all times and not just the business alone.
Okay, Alison Gregory, the CIntas crew will be with us in 1 week, Saturday the 20th in Idaho Falls, there at the river at the Convention Center, and in Nampa at the Micron Tech Center, which is the old Sam's Club.
Yeah.
Alison Gregory, CIntas, thanks
Pleasure.
so much for being with us today. And later on Business at its Best, we give you all the details on that big free event that's coming your way, Secure Your ID Day. We are in Western and Eastern Idaho helping you protect your identity, and you are watching Business at its Best, presented by Ataraxis. Welcome back to Business at its Best. We're spending the half hour talking about identity theft and scams, how to protect you and your money. Dr. Peter Crabb from Northwest Nazarene University joins us, and as we continue to share ways for folks to save their money, scam artists are always out looking. And I'm curious to hear from you, what about the current economic environment is creating this ripe environment for a scam artist, because we're hearing more and more about scams, and they just keep coming.
Right. Any downturn in the economy seems to bring out the worst in some of the businesses. So we've got a situation of a slow-growing economy and high unemployment. In environments like that, people start to look for different ways to take care of their family. I'm having trouble finding a job. I might start a business. I might have to refinance my home and do things like that. And scammers will prey on that opportunity. Our debt levels in the United States are still really high. We're at $2.7 trillion in consumer debt. That's where we were in 2008. And so there's still a lot of debt out there. So there's a lot of scammers that are going to talk to you about, I can help you with that debt. And what they're really after is your money or your identity.
That's important to note because the debt level is the same today as it was in 2008.
Right. That's consumer debt, and some of it, some housing debt has gone down, but credit card debt and car loan debt, student loan debt, that's going up.
So when we talk about debt and the scams around that, we hear it on late night infomercials and on the radio. We can eliminate your debts. We can, debt counseling.
Refinance, all those.
And a lot of that's up front. You pay a fee up front, and then all of a sudden you have these services and they tell you they'll pay. So what are some of the dangers that folks need to be watching for?
Right, that's the biggest risk about these programs. There are many good businesses out there that do debt counseling and do refinance for you. But there's some other ones that are just trying to get the cash from you out front. What the programs often do is get you to pay an upfront fee. And what you're really doing is just paying the interest up front. And you're getting the debt reconsolidated. You might be getting a lower interest payment, but you're still paying all that interest, and you're paying it up front. And then worse yet, they might get all that information about your debt, not take any of your money, but they've got your identity. And then they go off with that.
A big concern.
Big risk.
Or take your identity and your money, and then you can you'll never talk to them again. Yeah. Now, on the debt side of things still, but the mortgage modification offers. This is another area where you say people need to be careful.
Right. There's tons of phone calls coming in, and tons of people even knocking on your door, many mailings coming in saying, we can help you modify your loan. Again, the big risk there is they're often going to ask for a lot of money up front. And then there's really, no matter what it says in the documentation, there's really no guarantee that they're going to get that loan modified. There's been a number of examples nationwide where they'll take $2,000 or $3,000 up front, and then that firm will start negotiating with your bank, but they get nowhere. And your debt doesn't get redone, refinanced, and since then, you've stopped making payments. That's often what they'll tell you. And so then
stop making the payments, give all you the money to us,
and we'll negotiate for you. Right. And then they end up getting no negotiation, and you're stuck. You're even in a worse position than you were before.
Because the bank's still coming after you for the money that you owe.
Right. That's a big risk.
Okay.
And
so what I'm hearing from you is that folks need to be careful as they go down these roads if they find themselves in significant debt, consumer type debt, credit card type debt. Don't fall for the late night infomercials. Do your research.
Do your research. And my biggest advice is stay local. If people need help, if you get into debt problems, you need help. Stay local. Find the local debt counseling services. Work with the local banks. Work with the Idaho Housing and Finance Association. Work with the local governments to get help. Don't do any of this over the phone. Get the information you need from these groups that are here in our community, and they're out to help.
Better Business Bureau, the place to start in finding those, because we have ratings and customer reviews on all of those companies, so you know exactly what's going on. Dr. Peter Crabb, NNU, thank you so much for being with us today. You know, Better Business Bureau has a number of resources to help people find the best companies in Idaho, and BBB helps companies sell ethically. Find us online, bbb.org, and on Facebook, right there. Just look for BBB Snake River Region. Coming up next on Business at its Best, we take you inside an Eastern Idaho business. We're going to be let me rephrase that. Coming up next, we're going to give you all of the details on what's happening in Eastern Idaho and Western Idaho as we work to help you secure your identity, and it's all free of charge. Details when we return. Welcome back to Business at its Best. We are on TV in great Idaho towns all along the Snake River Plain, from Jackson Hole, Wyoming to Ontario, Oregon. If you're just joining us, Business at its Best is a half-hour TV show about doing business right in Idaho. One of BBB's standards for trust is safeguard privacy. We believe companies can be better through self-regulation, doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. As we focus on safeguarding privacy, BBB prepares for Secure Your ID Day. Beve Bryant with BBB serving the Snake River region joins us. Bev, so good to have you on set with us. See you in the office every day. So Let's talk about Secure Your ID Day. I know it has been going on in Idaho for a number of years. Tell us how it started and what's the history.
Other BBBs were doing it, so 2005 we decided we were going to go along with it. And so in our infamous wisdom, we decided to have 2 that day. And we got such an outstanding response. We had 500 people in our parking lot, so you can imagine the lines. And then we went over to Napa and did it at Karcher Mall. So we got smarter after that and had them separately. So we kept it up year after year. With the numbers were always good. Then we added another day. So we're doing it in the spring, we do it in the fall, and now we're doing in eastern Idaho also. So we've got a lot going on with that. Matter of fact, over the years, we have assisted 6,300 Idahoans in shredding, get a load of this, 285,000 pounds of personal information, keeping it out of the bad guys' hands.
285,000 pounds of paper.
That's right.
That's a lot of paper to shred.
It is.
Sitting one sheet at a time through the shredder, but it's not done that way. So we just have less than a minute left. Folks can bring the free paper, their paper down for free shredding this coming Saturday, October 20th. Information's there on the screen. We're at the CWI Micron Center in Nampa and the Hotel on the Falls, Idaho Falls. Great opportunity. It's only 10 to noon though.
10 to noon, so be there. You don't have to get there real early, but bring your paper, bring your cell phones, bring your electronics.
We'd love to see you there and add to the 285,000 pounds of paper that has been shred thanks to BBB. Well, you've got a big weekend coming up, and we're looking forward to seeing a lot of folks in eastern and western Idaho.
It's going to be fun.
Absolutely. Beve, Bryant, thank you so much. Well, no one will be working harder securing your identity than you. Remember as a kid learning to stop, drop, and roll? If you were in a fire, well, here are 3 simple steps to remember. Shred, delete, and hang up the phone to keep from getting burned by a scam artist. And be sure to join us on Secure Your ID Day, October 20th, 10 to noon in Nampa and Idaho Falls. Have a great week.